Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Okay, let's see. I'm just waiting for the other person to join us right now. So, hey, Sarah, how are you? I see you. Thanks for joining in. All right. I'm just waiting for the top security expert to join us, and then we can start the program. Thanks, everyone. Can you kindly share to family and friends and invite people so that they can join us in to talk about domestic violence today? And be sure to share so everybody would know about what's going on. And also do comment so I would know that you're here so I can give you a shout out. I see Sarah. I see Engineer Simon. So kindly comment, kindly share, so that way we can know who is here. I'm waiting for the top security expert. Oh, thank God I made it early today. Yes, Sarah, thank God you made it. Thank you, love. Thanks for coming in. Oh, yes, awesome. He is right here. And let me see. And we will be coming in shortly. It's adding it's right now. So awesome. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad we're all here, and we're in here together to make this change happen. And the app is saying adding Mr. Olatubosun right now. So I'm just waiting for him. Bashir, welcome. I see all of you. Kindly comment, kindly share, so that way I would know you're here. If you do not comment, if you do not share, if you do not like or love the program, I wouldn't know you guys are here. So, but if you do comment and participate that way, I would know and give you a shout out that somebody's here. Right now, the app is still telling me that it's adding Mr. Olatubo soon. So bear with us, and we will get to this, inshallah. Thank you all for joining. Remember, keep sharing things that we post on Sharing Life Issues with Her Excellency Hajia Amina. Oops, and I think, let me see what's going on with the guest. It's still saying adding, so bear with us. Technical issues, but we'll get there. Okay. How is everybody doing today? Assalamu alaikum, said Bashir. Amir alaikum salam, Brother Bashir. How are you? How is the family doing? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your support always at Sharing Life Issues with Her Excellency Hajia Amina. Jazakallahu khair. May the Almighty Allah continue to guide and protect us. And I see Dr. Pabio, thanks for always coming in. If you do like the program, if you do comment, I would know you're coming in, and that way I can give you a shout out. If you do not comment, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able sometimes to know that you're there. So be sure to comment, be sure to share. And while we're waiting to see our wonderful and great security expert, it's still saying adding, so it's going to work. So don't worry about that. Thanks, doctor. Doing great. And you? Yes, I'm doing great. Good morning. I'm doing wonderfully well. It's 6 a.m. here. So ever since I woke up for my tahajjud, I didn't go back to sleep because I wanted to make sure that, I get ready to see all your lovely faces. Tahajjud is like Muslim spiritual prayers that, like the Christians would do night vigil. So that's what we do. So you do that prayer before your Fajr prayer. Fajr here is around 3 something a.m. Believe it or not, it's early now. So, and you do that, and then you can do your Fajr prayer. So we can still talk a little bit while we're waiting for the guest speaker to come in. I believe it keeps showing me adding, so we'll get there. So if you're here, kindly comment, kindly share, kindly love and like it, so I would know that you're here, so I can greet you. because I do not want it to be like I'm greeting some people, I'm not greeting the others. It's only people that are commenting that I can see and that I can view. Thank you, doctor. I did see that. Thank you, Ridwan. I see that. Thank you. May Allah bless you all. Okay, comment, share, and it's still adding, but we're going to get through it today. All right. Other than that, how is everybody doing? Can you write where you're, logging in from, so we know where you're logging in from while we wait for the guest speaker? Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Approve. Yes. Okay, we did try this yesterday because I know sometimes things like this would happen. And we were fortunate enough to, get to it, but things happen. But hey, we should always, be, uh-oh, let me see. So it's saying adding the guest speaker. So, okay, awesome. Dr. Fabio said logging in from Lagos. Yay! Give it in for my Lagosians. Báwo lẹ ti wà? Ṣé wà pa? Mo ń kí yín o, tí ni mo ṣe. I'm Wazobia. So, dukanku na gaisuwa. Daluf, thank you. Thank you, Sarah from Abuja. Yay! The Money City, huh? All right. Awesome, doctor. Awesome. Wow, there's a long queue for oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Sarah. I'm so sorry. It's sad. We talked about this last night with Abdul Shita. We went live yesterday, and we talked about all those happenings in Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate, but who would change the narrative? No one can change the narrative if we are not coming together to work together. If only one person is talking and the other people are not doing it, then things would not change. Hey, sis, from Kaduna, she said, keep up the good work. Good morning. Raji Nafisa, I love you like Kilo Day. Hey, Folake Adebayo, welcome. Oh, sorry, Adeboye. Emabino, welcome. Thank you so much for always coming in to support Her Excellency. I'm grateful. Love you guys all. And it's still saying adding the guest speaker. So while we're waiting, we can as well chat. Adukbe or Dr. Fabio said Adukbe. Oh, thanks, sis Folake. Ọlọ́run ló ṣeun. A máa rọ́pẹ́ dání lágbára Ọlọ́run. Long, we would always find something. It seems to be having issues coming in. What's happening? I do not know because I've been adding you. I'll click on the join, or probably you might send in a request to join me if you're not able to join with the link that I sent to you, sir. Nafisa Raji says, doing good, sis. Lovely. So glad to hear that. Okay. All right, it's still saying adding. He said he's having technical issues coming in, but we'll get to it. All right, I know you guys are always here, always present, always patient. And inshallah, we'll get to this. Well done, darling. Thank you, Ms. Falake. I appreciate you. Thanks for everyone on here today, because you guys are using your data to come listen to sharing life issues with Her Excellency Haja Amina, and I value you all, and thank you. So I'm still waiting to see what's going on, and I do see that he's been trying to join also, but probably the technical issues is what's happening right now. but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Yes, doctor. Thanks for always supporting us. I appreciate you. Ibro Wills is watching. Okay, Nafisa, like, love, share. That way I would know you're here. Comment, I would know you're here. Right where you're logging in from today while we're waiting for the guest speaker. So we can, greet and be free to comment, be free to write things down that we can talk about also in other videos. Let me see. I do not see him. Okay, I do see him now. He's saying seems I'm still having issues. Okay, let me see. I'm just trying to see something. I'm trying to see if I can add him through here. So bear with me. I'm not seeing him anymore. I think I lost him, but I'm still trying to add him. Hey, Ibro. Hi. He said, Her Excellency Hajia Ami, keep the good work you have made from Kano. Thank you so much. They said old friends are like what? They're like wine. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you all for the love. Yes, it's been years and years that we've seen, but the love is there. So distance is nothing when you love people. All right, we're still waiting for him to see what's going on. Thanks, Dr. Opabio. Okay. I'm not seeing him anymore on, it was saying adding a few minutes ago, but unfortunately I'm not seeing that. How do you to request to join? Miss Balarinwa, if you're there, can you send me a request to join since I'm sending in the request and you're not able to join in through there? So probably you might be able to also send me a request so I can approve it from here. And everyone's so sorry about this happening, but we always plan, but God's plan is always the best. But we're going to get through it today, inshallah. And thank you all for your patience while I'm trying to see what's going on with the system. I'm still trying to see. Mr. Abolariwa, if you're here, can you write something to let me know you're here, because I can no longer see you. I saw that you were joining in before, but unfortunately it's not showing. I'm not seeing your name or anything anymore. And if you guys are here, be kind to comment, be kind to share, be kind to like and love the program so I would know that you're here while we're waiting for the guest speaker. So we can keep talking while it's coming in. And thank you, everyone. Thank you. I see those likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for your patience. Thank you for always getting your data to come listen to Her Excellency Hajia Amina. We're sharing life issues with Her Excellency Hajia Amina. And how is everyone doing today? Let's chit chat before we start the program. I'm still not able to see Mr. Olatubosun. If you're here, can you please write a comment so I know you're still here, because I'm not seeing you. It said, thanks, Dr. Opabio. Okay. Let me see. Probably, let me try to see what's going on from here. Bear with us, okay? We'll get through this, inshallah. All right. I'm just trying to contact him. Oh, yes, he's joining in right now. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, thank you.
Hi, good morning.
Awesome. All right, but I cannot hear you. Can you check
Hi,
your
how are
audio?
you? Can you hear
Awesome,
me?
awesome. I can actually not hear you. I can see you, Mr. Olatubosun.
Okay.
Thank you all. Mr. Olatubosun is here with sharing life issues with Her Excellency Hajia Amina, but I'm trying to let him know that I cannot hear him at this point. But I
Okay,
can see him.
can you hear me now?
I think I can hear my voice from your end, but I cannot hear anything coming from you. Can you check your audio, please?
Wow.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I cannot hear you at all.
Hello, can you hear me now?
If you guys can hear him, can you write down something on the comment? Yeah, I see you. I do see you, sir, but I cannot hear you, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'm not sure if
Hello?
the viewers can hear you.
Wow. I'm trying. How about now? Can you hear me? Oh. I think the viewers can hear me. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, awesome. It's for like I said, I can hear him. Awesome. And Sarah said I can hear both of you clearly. Awesome. So welcome to Sharing Life Issues with Her Excellency Hajia Amina. Today we do have the best top security expert who would be talking about domestic violence and who would be educating us about domestic violence today. So be sure to listen, be sure to invite family and friends while you're here, share, so we can change the world together, and you can get ready and keep your questions down for him when he's done. Thank you. Mr. Olatubosun, over to you, please.
Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be with you. Thank you very much, Hajia Amina. I really appreciate my time here. Well, talking about domestic violence is something some of us have known as long and as our age. Some of us were born right into domestic violence. We grew up to see domestic, and it is an unfortunate thing that Nigeria or Africa seems to be lacking behind in terming the effect of domestic violence. Either we like it or not, some of the problems we have to deal with in African society today have the fair share of the effect of the violence in it. And I think the earlier we start rising up against it with knowledge, not with violence, the better. I will never be an encourager of violence for violence, but it's not something that we should continue. It comes at a stage. It's just like every other problem we have in life. None of them come to hit us at a face at once. There are stages of it happening. There are telltale signals that we need to see and we need to act on. And today, before I go any further, I want to apologize to every ladies that on behalf of every man, both gentle and the ones that are not gentle. I want to apologize on behalf of men who have violence towards you. We are very sorry. We are not wired that way. Our forefather, the first father, it was never recorded that Adam hit Eve in the Garden of Eden, even though Eve cost him the best accommodation anybody can pay for in this life. The first quit notice was issued because of Eve, but Adam never beat her up. It was nowhere we got it from, and on behalf of every man who are beating up their wives, every woman who has been broken, every woman going through pain at the moment as I speak to you as a result of domestic violence, on behalf of all the men who are doing that, and on behalf of all the gentlemen who are not being violent towards their partners, I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I want my apologies to be accepted. Now, let's talk about dealing with it. The power belongs to the women because they are the receiver of it. So men who are beating their wife are like a supermarket open for business, and the women who are receiving it are like the customer. Without the customer, the supermarket cannot thrive. They will actually go bankrupt. So I'm trying today to change the mindset of women who thinks one of the best way to show love, to show appreciation to all the four pillars of their home is to stay and receive violence, receive battering. That you are not doing the society any good. You don't have to stay to see it. You need to first check it. At the first instance of a man talking aggressively towards you or acting aggressively towards you, you need to put a stop to that. In Nigerian law, I don't know, in other parts of the world, there's something we call threat to life. As bad as Nigerian government or Nigerian society is, threat to life is not until you actually harm that life. The moment I tell you I'm going to kill you and send you back home in coffin to your parents, an offense has been committed. An offense that needs to be recorded. An offense that needs to be reported. An offense that needs to actually, for women to ensure that they don't get away with it. Love's got nothing to do with that. It's not about you loving that man, or it's not about that man loving you and hating and hitting you at the same time. You need to really separate and create a fine line in between those. A man who hits you has actually committed an offense. And there is a way of dealing with that. The first thing you need to do is that the man who hit you is a suspected criminal that needs to be proven to be a criminal by yourself. That doesn't mean that you are breaking down the home. You are not killing or destroying him. So you walk to a police station, and as soon as you enter every Nigerian police station, there is a desk before the police counter. It's called the crime recording officer. That person has a diary in front of them. Just walk to them and tell them that you just come to incident a case of threat to life or incident a case of domestic violence. At that point, you are not reporting him because you are not giving any statement. They are only recording it in the diary that the man you are living with has tendency of hitting you or has hit you. So you must keep record of it, just like your phone is keeping record of every of your text messages and phone call through a log. Log it in there. And after logging it in, they will ask you what you want to do. Not only that, they will ask you, there is a system in the Nigerian policing system now that is by default, we kick into action. So they have a unit called gender. And this gender unit are the people, the department that are trained and programmed to deal with domestic violence. They're not going to yank your husband and put him in jail. I think the first thing they do is that they try and sit you down, work with you, and let the man know that he's actually committing an offense by hitting you. That must be established in his head or mind. Or in the case of a lady beating up men, because some of us are being beaten up too in our various homes, we men. So some of us are being killed by ladies too. So whichever way, it is always good for you to make sure that you incident it at the police station. There is a general thing going on where your imam or your pastor or your traditional priest will tell you that involving the police or the law is not good. Bring it to them. I've had examples of ladies who were prevented from reporting domestic violence by a pastor, but it was that same pastor that officiated at her funeral when she was being buried. So I don't see where winning of soul is taking place there. If the same person you are supposed to win to have a good life is being buried by you. So let the law kick in. Let the law take its course. You can settle out of police station. You can settle out of court. But to let it go unchecked is something that we need to put a stop to. You don't hit a man. What is the difference between your husband hitting you and Agbero hitting you at a bus stop? There must be a distinct line. If an Agbero hits you, I expect all hell to break loose when your husband gets involved. So why should the man in the house behave like an agbero outside, no matter what the case may be? And there is no do or die in marriage. I'm very, very sorry to say, it's not everybody that is destined to be married, to be married. There is no rule, and it is not written anywhere that you have to be married. Yes, we need this man to keep us warm, to support us, to share our thought with. But let me just tell you, some widows are still living, and they are living fine. And heaven did not fall because you are a widow. I don't know how many hundreds of million divorcees and single mothers that are out there. So it's not a stigma if you are running. The United States system and the United Kingdom system have a facility where that we call women fleeing violence. You see, if there is war within the four walls of your flat or apartment, you are not different from women who are receiving bomb blasts in Iraq, in Ukraine, in Afghanistan now. You cannot be living under the same room with a man who has tendency of killing you. And please quote my word, killing you. It's not until a man slap you and you fall down and die that is killing you. The man can kill you slowly. One punch to your head or to your chest can actually take effect 5, 6, 7 years later. And let me assure you of one thing. If all technicality is not taken account for, if we continue the way we are going now, that man will walk away freely if there is no evidence to convince the court that he killed you. And let me just assure you of another thing. Everything you have worked for with that man, within 2 years, that is too long, another woman is coming into the house to come in. If he doesn't go for them, they will come for him, knowing fully well that his wife is up there, or his wife is dead, or his wife is bedridden or on a wheelchair. So I want to appeal to all women that reporting your husband is not a stigma. In fact, when you report your husband and you ask that the law should take its course, when your husband hits you, you are actually building a better society. The reason being that the man who beat you up in presence of his son, of your son, is already creating another woman beater. My dad was a perpetual woman beater. Let me just tell you this. In fact, my mother was beaten into labor to have me. So hearing that kind of story and seeing my dad doing it to other women while I'm growing up formed something in me. And let me tell you what happened. Anytime my wife offends me, there is this aspect of me that says, are you a bastard? How can't you behave like your dad? Sort this out. One slap will change this equation. And then there's another part of me that says it is always better to be a gentleman. There is a corner shop to walk to pick up a cone of ice cream to calm down the radiator that is boiling inside me. Then I also have the responsibility to tell my son that violence is not the best way to deal with a woman. She is not my slave. She is a child born of another parent, raised by another parent, not to be turned into a punching bag. The only thing that is joining us together in marriage is just a piece of paper called the marriage contract. It is a contract like every other contract you are signing. You can step out of that contract and still remain in that house. So let me give you one good example. I have a very beautiful daughter. And the last thing I want to see one day is that a man, his husband, her husband, lay hands on her. If I'm still alive, it's going to be a very popular incident. So far, so good. I think I've sent about 3 teachers to Kirikiri for beating my daughter. Yes, I repeat that, and I'm very, very proud of myself. One, the first teacher I sent to jail, I heard that he's a woman beater at home. And for him to come and extend that to my daughter in school, it changes the equation. He knows what a jail, not police cell this time around. He went to prison on remand. It took a lot of pleading for me not to continue with that trial. And if the opportunity presents itself, let me just assure you, I'm going to do it again while licking ice cream. Do you understand? I'm doing that to communicate to my son what I may likely do to him if he dare touches his wife. I'm going to turn against him. I'm going to take side with the wife and the wife's family to fight him. And I'm trying to tell my daughter too that I'm not giving you away into slavery to be beaten. The beating is out of it. Don't hide it. Do not pretend that it's okay for 1 minute. Of course, somebody came to a home to pick you up. I never told you that I've locked that home against you. The slave trade is over when slaves were being beaten. You understand? So what are we talking about when in this time and era we think it is okay to beat our husband or to beat our wife to the point of death? So I want to appeal to all women, please remove sentiment out of it. Don't be sentimental about it. The moment you allow sentiment to set in at the first incident, you may be inside it for the rest of your life. I was told, a friend was telling me that his father of almost 80 years old hit the mother of almost the same age with a chair. Can you see that big violence has possibility of following you into your century age? If at 80, men are still being violent to a woman, and you have a chance of stopping it, putting a full stop. When I say full stop, I mean full stop to it at the first incident. Give the man who hit you for the first time, or the woman who hit you as a man for the first time, reason to think twice before doing it again. That is the formula. Make him think twice. If you don't make him think twice before doing it again, I can assure that you are joking with your life. And it may come back to hit you. It may send you on a wheelchair. It may make you to be bedridden. It can make you so ugly that the man will dump you and no man will want to have anything to do with you again. So why wait for that? If you won't live in a house with a snake hiding in your closet, I see no reason why you should live in a house with a man who have tendency of giving you what they call a millennium slap while you are sleeping. Yes, it's happening in Nigeria. I heard about a particular man who will wait for the wife to be sleeping peacefully, then he will land her a very hard slap in sleep. That man has a tendency of killing you. It takes a strong woman. And to be honest with you, let me just assure you of this. The number, I saw somebody putting a post there that has been happening since for the past 50 years or 1950. Yeah, that something has been happening in the past does not mean it has to continue. At the time, we don't queue in Nigeria. Something must happen. An event must happen that will change the equation of things. It's already happening in a negative way. Women are also killing men now. And it is in reaction to violence. It is in fear of violence. If I don't hit him with this stick on his head, he will continue to hit me. And I don't want to take those hitting. And men, I want to address you now. Be afraid of the woman who is cooking your food. The woman who has control over your fridge where everything you drink is. Your cigarette, the woman who has control over it and that can add a pinch of salt to it. A woman who has the opportunity of lacing your food with poison or with sleeping pill in order to catch up with you. And beware of them. Women are more powerful than men when it comes to violence because there is nobody has monopoly of violence. What the slap you are giving occasionally to strengthen or straighten the brain of your wife, I pray your wife will not start thinking that way because women will want to sort you out once and for all. They are wired like that. They are built to put a stop to something. So don't tempt them into what we are having in Nigeria now when women are killing men. And I want to reiterate and repeat again, the contract of marriage is not compulsory. You can be a civil partner. You understand? You can even withdraw an addendum to your marriage. Do you know that a man who slaps you can be sued civilly if he's a rich man? You can sue your man to court. It won't cost you more than 100 to 200,000 to file a case of assault. against your husband. You are not doing him any evil. Actually, you are sending a fear to the children, to your son, that violence against women is not allowed. And let mothers too start working on their male children. You understand? The moment your son is not a gentleman or behaving like a gentleman towards you, is an indication. Watch the way he speaks to you. Watch the way he helps you out when you are heavy laden. Watch how he allows you or your daughter to go through the door. First, as a gentleman, before going, you have to start from there. The school doesn't teach a man not to be violent or to be a gentleman. Let me assure you of that. It is one of those charities that must begin from home. And let me just assure you, we men, as I'm speaking to you now, I'm in an hotel room looking for my daily bread. So I'm not at home. It is my wife who is with my children now. So you have a duty to make sure you create a syllabus, yeah, and paste it somewhere, just like Ajia have some frame behind her now, reminding you constantly that you need to teach your son how to be a gentleman. Listen to what he says. If it's for 5 minutes every day talking about gentlemanism and how to be a perfect gentleman on your way to the supermarket at the dining table, it's not a good idea. You can even come back home and ask, tell me, how have you been a gentleman today? Don't let us encourage or create the beasts that are going to destroy our future. Look at Shekau, the late Shekau Aram. Look at what he is doing to women all over the world. Look at how many girls have been killed, have been kidnapped, have been raped by him. All these things began from home. I was shocked to see the picture of his mother, to be a perfect, non-fanatical, an average Nigerian woman out there. I saw her pain to see what her son is doing all over the places. And I just realized that something went wrong somewhere. I'm not castigating men, to be honest with you. I'm only appealing to you that the violence that has escalated, that is destroying the world today, President Vladimir Putin is born of a woman. Mohammed Shekau is born of a woman. Saddam Hussein is born of a woman. What's it called? Late Gaddafi was born of a woman. If only somebody saw this tendency of violence at the very, very early stage and did something about it, not thinking that the school will sort him out. All the school is teaching us is just arithmetic and mathematics and the use of correct English. The rest is just to put food on our table. The schools are not. Is there any course that you know that is about gentleman, how to be a gentleman, or how to be a gentlewoman? Maybe this is something that myself and Adia we need to come up with. Let us set up a school of gentlemanism. If we have a school of etiquette where we are showing our children how to use cutleries properly, how to how to knot a tie, and how to dress in a gentleman way, there's no reason why we shouldn't create a school where somebody can learn to learn about anger management, how not to be violent towards women, what you can do instead of the punch or the slap or the kick. I was bewildered to see a video of a young man carrying a pressing iron. It went viral to hit his wife. That is a bestiality. That is a beast. A beast. I see no reason why a woman should be in the same house, under the same roof, with that kind of a person. It's not compulsory to be married. You understand? Let violence, the men in the violence world know that it can no longer be business as usual. You can lose your home to violence. In the UK now, if you slap your wife and your wife managed to call the police, whether you are the one paying for the mortgage or not, the police will ask you to leave the house and measure your territory for you. If you dare come back to that place, you are going to jail. It is a system. Don't hit your wife. Yes, I'm not excusing that there are violent women and there are women that have tendency of driving you to the wall. There are women. The only thing you just have to do is just not to allow them to drive you to the wall. If you live in Lagos as a man, you know how many times Agberu, Keke Napep driver, or Okada rider drives you to the wall. You don't come out to slap them. You don't. So if you can maintain your calmness, you have a boss at work who is your superior, who talks to you anyhow, who hates you because you look ugly or because she does not want you to rise and kick her out of the position. You don't rise up to hit them. You still say, yes, ma'am. You come back home. You don't take it out on your wife. If you can maintain your composure out there, to be honest with you, the best way to release that is to come home, give your wife a warm hug, give her a good deep kiss. If this thing is not working very well, go and buy yourself Fearless and every other enhancing whatever, and release the pressure on your wife in bed. It can only yield good results. Hitting a woman is out of it. It does not help our society, and we must put a stop to it. If you have any question regarding this, or if you need any help, whether you are in Nigeria and you are going through this and you need a step-by-step action, that is, if you are ready to take action, I will be willing to support you in my own little way. So you can reach out to Ajia and she will link you up with my contact if needs be. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask me now.
All right, guys, you guys can send in the questions if you have any questions so that we can get to it. Thank you so much, Mr. Olatubosun. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right, so let's see if you guys have questions so that we can answer that. We have to make the change together. I'm not seeing any questions yet, so send in your questions so we can get to this. I'm just looking through here to see. I see Dr. Pabio, but I'm not seeing any questions. Do you guys have any questions? Can you type it in? So that way we can get to it so Mr. Olatubosun can help answer the questions. Or if you do have any suggestions also, you can put that in. For those living in other places, like Mr. Olatubosun said earlier on, in Nigeria, you can always go into the police station. Over here in the United States also, what you have to do is call 911 immediately when your perpetrator starts their madness, be it a woman, be it a man, anyone can be an abuser. So, but I do know that.
Another thing I was gonna add as well is that if there is any evidence of domestic violence against you, like a mark in your body, it is very, very important that you keep record of it. So for you listening to us and you know that your husband cannot do without hitting you in a week, in a fortnight, or every month, you need to buy a small pocket diary, take a picture of it, write it in your diary. You can even take a picture of it and send it into your mailbox. You understand? So that it remains in your inbox. The record, the chronological keeping of the record help the relevant authorities to prosecute the person and put this to shame. Sometimes, I think Falaki Adeboye said something. I just think the women sometimes allow the man to hit them over and over again. If a man hits you once, you give back yours without holding back. Well, Falaki, it sounds good, but I don't know how skillful you are in man, and 2 wrongs does not make it right. The man who hits you 3 times can die from hitting him once back without holding back. So the best thing is that you don't commit a crime to solve a crime. It could also be risky. If you hit him back like an African man who thinks we are king over women and they dare not look at us in the face, they dare not talk back or hit us back, he may give you a punch that can change your life for the rest of your life. So attacking a man back in his house will actually put you to jail. So he hit you 10 times and you hit him once, and his own once leads to a life-threatening injury. It's like adding insult to your own injury, because it is you that the police will arrest and try if it happens. The first thing you need to do from violence men is to do what you do when you see a snake or scorpion. Put a displacement between the two of you. Put a gap. In fact, sometimes that gap resets their brain. Just pick up few clothes if you can. Get your ATM. If you have access to his money, take some and check yourself. You see, for those of you who are married or living with a millionaire or billionaire and they have tendency of hitting you, take their money and check in, lodge in into Transcorp, Hilton or Sheraton, and don't let them know that you are there. Stay there for like 1 week if you have access to their money. Soak yourself in the bath, take a good shower, don't go to work, don't cook, don't make love to anybody. By the time you do that for a week, I think women in America are actually doing it. They will buy something very expensive on your credit card. You understand? And it's not theft. If you pick your husband's money and use it to run away from violence and you go into an enjoyment, it is not a theft. You are only a woman fleeing violence, and it is allowed. So go. Don't fight back, please. Use the law to deal with them. But most importantly, create a distance between you and that person. That is important to your life. That is important to your body. I know a lot of women who are disabled now and will be disabled for the rest of their life, and because they stayed with a violent man. I know a lady whose husband was violent to her in Nigeria, and somebody from America witnessed it and said, oh, I'm going to help this lady. And they helped her during the days of American visa lottery and everything, and she went to America, she became a nurse and everything, only for her to die 8 years later of brain hemorrhage from constant hitting 8 years ago, when she was supposed to be enjoying the fruit of her labor and everything in God's own land. So there is, if you ask me, one of the reasons why you shouldn't stay with a dangerous, with a violent man, I will give you a lot of reasons. I also want to appeal to Ajia. Maybe, just maybe, we need to create a violent man register in the world, in this era of social. Let us create a platform where a man who is violent face can be shown and what he did with date. So that it could be a website. We can say we can create movement against violent women, whatever movement. And those of you who are here with us today can join us in exposing those kind of people, because one of the reasons why people will continue to do that is that we men are so arrogant and proud sometimes that we think some of the bad things we did remains within the four walls of our house. I think it is time to start letting the world see what some of us are capable of doing. And today, if you are here, you are a father-in-law and a mother-in-law, and you are encouraging your daughter to stay with a violent man because of social stigma. If she dies, the blood is equally on your hands. So I did not give birth to my daughter for a man to use her as a punching bag. May it not happen. It's one of the worst things I pray against in my life. You understand that? May I not witness it. And if it happens, I'm going to buy a proper punching bag, present it to him as a gift while my pickup is waiting outside his house to help my daughter move back home. It is as simple as that. You understand? So let him start punching the bag, and let me have my bag. In fact, as I'm dropping the punching bag with him, moving my daughter out, I'm also moving all the dowries they brought back to his father's house, so that they can know that when it comes to fighting against violence, it's not every father-in-law that wants to see their daughter mutilated and battered. We did not bargain for that. There has been time that I was tempted to hit my wife. But do you know what? I sacrificed it so that somebody will not hit my own daughter too, as karma in the future. So I've not done it. Even though things happen that makes me want to do it, I thank God that almost 30 years of marriage, I've not been able to raise, although my father did it to many women. I had in history that my grandfather did it too. I didn't do it, and I pray that my son is not going to do it, because the day he comes to me that he's going to marry, is ready to get married, myself and himself will be going on a trip to talk about why this must not happen, and if there is a course that he needs to go for, I will register him on that course so that I can prepare and equip him as a perfect gentleman that is supposed to be out there. And let me throw this as a very light joke. For you men, being a gentleman to the core has a very, very good reward. More women will like you if you do behave like a perfect gentleman at work out there in your society. It attracts good women, and I'm a living example of it. I've been favored by women simply because they saw the way I behaved even while I was under pressure out there. And I want to appeal to you, please be good. And to Folake, please don't give it back to the man. It's a very, very dangerous thing to do. Creates what the physics people call displacement. It's faster than running. Move away from him. Let me assure you.
If I may add to that, I think what Folake is trying to say is self-defense, not just stay there and, you know, have him banging you.
Yeah. The best self-defense to start with, when you see the tendency, is to buy yourself a body harm, the one that police wears, and crash helmet. When you wear that around the house for 1 week and people start asking you questions, you can even post it on social media. They will know that you are living with a man who has tendency of hitting you in the chest area and in the head area. That's why you are wearing helmet. It's going to be embarrassing to the man too. You understand? And it's going to expose them. Don't cover it up. Don't hide it. Post it. I've just been slapped by my husband. I'm having hair pain now. I'm on my way to the hospital. When you carry wound of domestic violence to the police station, there is a form you must obtain. It's called the treatment form. In Nigeria case, make sure you collect this form and take that form with you to a general hospital for treatment, not private hospital. The form, you must take it to the doctor that will attend to you. Once the doctor sees the form, they know what to do. They will fill it up and stamp it. And with that, you can teach a man, with that form alone, you can teach a man a lesson not to hit any woman again. So I want to thank you very much for the opportunity of coming on board.
I think Sarah has a question for you.
Okay.
She said, can a boy or child who didn't grow up in a violent home develop the violent tendencies?
Become violent?
Yes.
Yes, it is very, very possible. You don't have to learn violence from your father and mother or uncles and aunties. You can learn violence from social media, from TV, from cable TV. You understand? The entertainment world have not been doing us a lot of favor. In the UK, they talk about political correctness in speech. In the US, they try to say you don't use this kind of word. Facebook and other social media will ban you for a few weeks if you say or talk or say anything, post anything about violence. But this same organization, countries and governments have not been taking action against movies that are showing violence. We have learned all we need to learn about violence in the world. It's still ongoing. So let there be a better censor organization. Let us start having a movie where domestic violence is completely, if you use the word F-U-C-K now, they try to silence it and censor it. They don't want you to say it on. So why should we show a man hitting a woman or a woman hitting a man? We really need to move our government to stopping all this, because our children are learning from it. Our children are learning from it. So let's take care of the violence. The Chinese world in those days when we were growing up, and the Indian movies we watch, teaches us about karate and fighting in different form. If we want to bring peace to the world, yeah, the charity does not really have to start from home. It should also start from the society. Let us create a topic, a subject that goes against violence. Let us share it on social media. Yeah, I saw somebody typing inferiority complex. Yeah, inferiority complex is one of the things that makes men become violent. I know of a lady friend, a colleague in UK. She is talented in the area of her career, and her husband is the opposite. He was not good in his career, so he is not getting promoted. The wife is getting promoted to the extent that they gave her official car. And every time the husband sees the wife driving that car, or every time the wife made any mistake, it is because she's been promoted at work and she's driving a big car. And that led to a lot of hullabaloo. You see, if you accuse anybody of inferiority complex, you need to check yourself too. Maybe you have superiority complex. You understand? And for a man who is feeling inferior because the wife has things, whatever your wife has belongs to you. You understand? The manner and the approach at which you use. Women are the best people you can get anything from. They are the only people that can remove their eyes and give it to you because of love. You understand? But don't go to them with a sense of entitlement. Do not treat them as if the marriage certificate you have with them has sold them to you for life. No, I'm training my daughter to become like Fumilayo Ransom Kuti. I will be happy going to my grave to see my daughter ruling in the world of men. Some of us are like that. So if my daughter is greater than her husband in any way or form, so be it. It is my prayer. That's why I spend a lot of money sending her to school. You understand? So don't make her to become a victim. And there are some women, I want you to know this, there are some women that they cannot just be capped. You can't just put a fence around them and fence them in and box them in. Naturally, they are not wired to be boxed in. Their voice must be heard. And we have them in the world today. Some of them are leading some of the most powerful nations in the world. When you look at the lineup of the
I think I cannot hear Mr. Olatubosun. I think we're having technical. Okay.
Try as much as possible to just practice humility, show more love to your wife. I have tried this before and it works. You are the oga, everybody know, but your oga thing only ends in Africa. In other parts of the world, we are talking about gender equality now. And there are some women who are seeing themselves that they are able to do. It is not a myth, it is a reality. So please, and I want to women too, if God is blessing you to be greater than your husband in finance and in property acquisition and everything. It at his face, tag him along, let him feel belonging, let him know that whatever you say, I had COVID last year, and it was one of tell you that, oh boy, prepare yourself to die. And do you know what? I look at everything that I have acquired and I started writing a note because my wife was not around. I was in Nigeria when it happened. My wife was abroad. I was writing everything to hand over to my wife. Or who do I rather hand over to? An outsider? No, because she's the only one that will ensure that my children get the best of whatever I leave behind. So if I can live my life to her as my widow, why can't I sometimes surrender?
I'm not sure if you guys can hear. I'm not with Mr. Olatubosun because I cannot see him talking anymore or hear him. I can see him, but I cannot hear anything from his end. I'm not sure if he has technical issues. Can you write to let me know if you can hear him? Because I cannot hear him. If you can hear me, can you? Okay, okay, great. I think I can hear him now.
Hello?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hi, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hello? Oh dear, I think there is a network issue here.
Yes. I think he wrote network issues. I think we lost him, but I cannot even see. How come everything is dark? He said network issues. Let's see. Not sure why I'm not. Let me see. Abdul Shooter says both clearly. I can't see myself any longer on the live. Can you guys see me? Okay, Zainab said sometimes I feel parents should watch the type of company their sons keep and keep speaking to them constantly. Absolutely. Parents need to do that. I'm not able to see. Let me see. Not sure what's going on. I'm not seeing myself on the live, but I can see comments. Can you guys see me? Because I cannot see myself right now. I'm not sure what happened. Ever since I lost Mr. Olatubosun on the show, I've not been able to see myself. I'm not sure if you can see me. Can you write a comment to let me know if you can see me? Let me try to use my phone to see if I can view that. Can you see me? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing my self. It's just blank. Oh, you can see me. Okay, so I'm just going to ignore that. If I cannot see myself, that's fine. If you can see me, that's awesome. So we've lost Mr. Olatubosun, but you can still bring in your questions and I'll be here to answer them. I do believe that he would he would still try to join us back. But if he does not, do send in your questions. Mr. Olatubosun has a lot of experience with the UK system because he's an expert from there and also Nigerian system. He knows about the American systems too, but those two systems that I talked about, the UK system and the Nigerian system, is what he is really into. So if you do need help, if you do have concerns, okay, so I do see that Zainab said, we can see you clearly. Okay, Alhamdulillah, you can see me. It's blank right now, but I'll keep talking since you can see me. As long as you guys can keep carrying me along to let me know you can see me, that's fine. So if you do need help, if you do need assistance with domestic violence, do send me a DM. Send me WhatsApp message if you do have my number. If you do not have my number, send me a DM. And please, sometimes people are always writing hello, assalamu alaikum. Kindly write and state what it is that you're, talking about. If we all keep just writing assalamu alaikum, hello, we're not going to get through all the messages. I'm a Muslim, and Islamically, if somebody says assalamu alaikum, you have to keep answering Amina alaikum salam, Amina alaikum salam. But if you're not stating why you're sending the salam, fine, you can, say salam alaikum and to greet. But remember, there would be a lot of messages. So we cannot keep going through all those messages. I'm not the only one viewing my inbox messages sometimes. The PA does view that too. So please do state the reasons why you reached out so that we can get to that. Also, with the American system, I would like to put in some things with that. If you're going through domestic violence here, I know a lot of people, like culturally, they tell you, do not call the cops, do not do this, do not do that. I get it. I've been with a lot of African women who are going through this, even men over here, Nigerian men who are going through domestic violence, who their pastors, their imams and all that would say, do not call. If you call, you'll be seen as the bad person. So now it's like the stigma. The victim is now being seen as the perpetrator, which is not right. I've seen people called the police because they've been living with these perpetrators for years. And unfortunately, they've been taking those abuse and not being able to call anyone but their families. And each time you tell the family, you just tell that person, oh, be it a woman or a guy, they would say, oh, you don't want a broken home, you have kids, you have to keep your home, you'll be a laughing stock. How long are we going to continue doing this? Did you hear what Mr. Olatunbosu said the other time? There was a lady who he made reference to who went through abuse. And let me make this clear. Abuse is not only physical. If you go through my page, you'll see the list of abuse that are there. We have physical, we have emotional abuse, verbal abuse. Emotional abuse too is deadly. When you live with a narcissist, he would ignore you, do crazy things that would gaslight you to make you think you're the problem. We have financial abuse too. So we have a lot of abuse. We have spiritual abuse. The other time I brought in Bashira, she talked about spiritual abuse. So we do have a lot of abuse. I myself didn't know about some of these abuses, like I told you before, growing up in Nigeria. Coming to America, reading a lot about this later on made me realize that, wow, the things that we do tolerate sometimes in Africa is considered as an abuse here. So you need to start speaking up. If we all are enabling this, people are dying. People that are laughing about, oh, you have a broken home. They're not happy in these marriages sometimes. They're just faking it. Look at it this way. Unfortunately, we have celebrities that people always post. And when people mock them, remember, you can be there someday too. So when you're laughing at somebody, it could happen to you. And trust me, sometimes the breakups too, some people celebrate it. Some people celebrate divorce because when something is so toxic, what else would you do? Because you're thanking God. You're about to say, that I'm thanking God that I did not die. You know? So, Godiani mutinye kamate idingeyi. Ide mutinye gang we yama pita de mutuba. So all I'm saying is I'm speaking in my Nigerian dialect, saying that we need to be grateful that we are alive. If you can still see me, can you kindly write a comment so that I know that you guys are still there? Because the screen is still blank. I do see that it says I'm still live, but I'm not sure if you can still see me. So if you're in America, because I know he covered Nigeria and UK, he briefly talked about US before we lost him. That's Mr. Olatuposun. If you're in America, my advice to you would be, do not keep taking the abuse. You need to call 911 right away. And Mr. Olatibo also advised that you guys should, whoever is going through abuse, should take records of the abuse and keep pictures. Yes, you need to do that. And I've seen instances where the perpetrator have the passwords to their partner's phone, their wife's phone, their husband's phone, and they deleted those pictures. So like Mr. Olatibo said, please do email those pictures to yourself. So that way, or you can email it to your family. So you can have a proof. Without proof, you go into court every day and look like you're a fool. And the perpetrator comes in dressed in suit, you know, pretending to be nice. Narcissists know how to get their games going. So you cannot win a narcissist if you do not have your proofs. Unfortunately, people do not believe that you are abused if you do not have those proofs, because that narcissist person would do anything to make sure that they make you look like the crazy one. So I'm not seeing any comments right now. I do see that I'm still live, but I see that it's still blank. If you can see me, can you kindly write something? If not, just know that if you're here, you need to call 911 if you're in America. If you're in Nigeria or any part of the world, I believe you need to go into the station to file a report, like Mr. Olatibo advised. And the law, do not take law into your hands, please. So I would like to end it here today, and we would be having more episodes coming in. Be sure to send me DM if you do want us to talk about other things. At Sharing Life Issues with Our Excellency Hajia Ami, we talk about everything, every issues that are happening. So it's not just about domestic violence. It's not just about relationship. I talk about everything. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming on today's show. I appreciate you all. Jazakallahu khaira. May the Almighty Allah bless you. And may it be a fruitful year, and may it be a fruitful Friday. Do not forget to read Al-Kaf if you're a Muslim today. And it's always good to read Al-Kaf on Fridays. May the Almighty Allah continue to guide and protect us. May God, if you're a Christian, may God continue to guide and protect you also. I love you all, and I will continue to love you all. It's your girl, Her Excellency Hajia Amina. Okay, if you guys do not have any questions, okay, I do see I do see Dr. Uduak. All right. So I'm glad you guys can still view me, because I cannot see anything right now. It's just blank. So I'm just talking. But at least I can see that Dr. Uduak acknowledged that she could see me. You're very welcome, Dr. Uduak. And thank you so much. I love you. Thank you so much. You've never missed any of my live shows at Sharing Life Issues with Her Excellency Ami. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Everyone who came in today. Falake, thank you so much. I love you. I love you all. If I'm not making mention of your name, it's because I'm not seeing you in the screen. Abdullah Hishita, thank you so much. It was nice having a live show with you yesterday. We did not plan it, but it was awesome that we talked about the Nigerian politics. I did not plan it. He did not plan it. We were just trying to test with Olatibosun yesterday, and unfortunately Olatibosun was not able to join, so I asked if Shita was going to join me, because he came live, and he did, and we talked a lot about the Nigerian politics. Remember, do not, I know this is not about Nigerian politics, but do go get your PVC, please. Change the narrative, okay? Love you also, my dearest Falake. I love you like Kilode. Edima Ohe, thanks, sir, for coming in. Thank you. I see you. If you're not commenting, if you're not liking it, if you're not loving it, I would not know you're here. That's why I'm not making mention of your name. Sarah, thank you so much. Zainab, Sadi, thank you so much. Thank you all for coming in. I do love you. And I will be posting soon to let you know when we would be having the next episode. May the Almighty Allah again bless you. It's a Friday. May the blessings and joy continue to come upon all of us, inshallah. Have a wonderful weekend and stay safe. Let's remember, be that change you want to see in other people. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you, Abideme. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for always coming to support. Thank you, everyone. If you're not commenting, that's why I'm not calling your name. So forgive me. It's not like I'm not trying to pick some other people's name. If I'm not seeing you, that's why I didn't give you a shout out. So I love you all. Jazakallah khaira again. Thanks for coming in to watch my live video today, and make sure you send in meaningful post to sharing life issues with Her Excellency Hajia Amina. Invite people to the group so we can all change the world together, and share and like the post, and always click on the going so you can get the notifications. Thank you again, and God bless you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.